After an inspiring and reinvigorating win against LSU, USC returns home to the Coliseum to take on the Utah State Aggies. The self-proclaimed Trojan killer pig farmer comes back to the Coliseum to add a nice bit of intrigue to a game that otherwise wouldn't have much. Will USC come out flat after an emotional win in Vegas? Or will the Trojans come out and squash the Aggies? It's USC, it's Utah State, game preview number 2, let's go. What's up guys, my name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. Game preview number 2 is here and I know it's not the most interesting of opponents, so if you are here watching this one, I really appreciate you. I will make this preview video a little shorter than usual, but please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again for being here, let's get into it. Alright, so let's dive in here and meet the Utah State Aggies. The head coach of the Aggies is not Blake Anderson, he got booted on out of there right before the season started. The interim for this year is 33-year-old Nate Dreiling. Last year, Nate was the DC at New Mexico State, who of course went into Jordan-Hare Stadium and beat up on Auburn. Now overall, they're in a very tricky spot with the timing of firing their coach, but Coach Dreiling has seemed to steady the ship up to this point. Now moving on over to the Aggies offense, it is an interesting one. This is a super fast-paced, run-heavy attack. This entire operation they have is built around the run game. Rasul Faison is a really solid back that can do some damage if he breaks through that first line of defense. Pretty good receiver as well. Talked about it earlier, but the quarterback is a familiar face in Bryson Barnes, aka the Pig Farmer, or as he declared himself after last year's USC-Utah game, the Trojan Killer. Now, if you allow me just to get a little unprofessional here for a second, this little untalented prick thinks he's a rock star because he beat Alex Grinch last year. Well, buddy, this is a different USC team. This is a different USC defense, and I don't know if you saw our guys last week, but we want the smoke. We want the violence, and you're going to need to sit in an ice bath for a month after this game's over. Trojan Killer. Bring that same energy, bro. Bring that same energy. But yeah, I think the defense is going to take away the QB run game, and that's kind of all he has as a player. Take away that, and we'll be in really good shape. Now, the wideout to watch here is the slot wideout, Kyrese White. Very good and explosive weapon that Greedy Vance is going to do his best to shut down. Really no standouts on the Aggie offensive line. Really think they're going to have a rough day against Anthony Lucas and Braylon Shelby. They simply just don't have the athleticism to stay in front of our guys. Overall, we should hold this team to under 20 points, plain and simple. Now defensively, this team is going to have its hands full dealing with Lincoln and Miller and everybody else we have, both along the defensive line and linebacker spots for Utah State. When I watched that game against Robert Morris, I mean, too often going up against a small school like that, they were getting blasted off the ball. There were just a lot of reps where it was just very, very rough to watch. It's very hard for me to imagine in any scenario this defensive front holding up against our offensive line. I mean, imagining what Jonah Monheim is going to do to some of these kids, I almost feel bad. But by far, the strength of this Utah State defense is in the secondary. Ike Larson is a do-it-all safety for the Aggies. He's the best tackler on this team. He's not afraid to come up and play the run. And he's kind of the Swiss Army knife guy. They'll line him up all over the field. So he's for sure someone to key in on. Starting at corner, they actually have one of Lincoln Riley's former players, DJ Graham. If you remember from a few years ago at OU, he had that insane one-handed pick. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It went absolutely viral. But yeah, he's a starting corner for this team. Extremely rough outing for him against Robert Morris. He did not look good at all. But he is a very talented kid, so that is someone to watch out for as well. Again, man, I'm trying to find some standouts here to talk about on this Utah State team. But when you're tied late in the third quarter against Robert Morris and you're only up by 6 midway through the fourth, it's just a difficult spin for me to try to sell you why this should be a close game. So yeah, overall in defense, I don't see how they can hang with us in any part of the field. I just don't. All right, so having said that, let's move over to G's keys. So again, very simple here for the offense. The first one is score early. Let's put some points up on the board. Let's get our starters out of there. The second one is injury-free. Very obvious. We have to stay healthy for that game at Michigan. And then the third one ties into the first two. Let's get Jaden Mayava some reps. Let's get Miller off the field and put him in bubble wrap. And then let's get Jaden out there. I would love to see him get some actual game action in a USC jersey. And then for the defense, repeat. And then for the defense, repeat. Have another solid performance, hold them to under 20 points, and let's get out of here with an easy W. Same second one as the offense, injury-free, stay healthy for Michigan, please. And then lastly, let's get some freshmen some reps. I want to see Elijah Newby out there. I want to see Jarvis Boatwright out there. I want to see Desmond Stevens out there, G.D. Abasiri. This is a fantastic opportunity to get those guys some game reps, which are invaluable at this stage of their career. All right, that's it for G's Keys. Now let's go to the score prediction. So I could see this being a very similar game to the Rice game in 2022, where we have a lot of takeaways, a lot of big plays. I don't know if we get all the way up to 66 points like we did in that one, but I am going to say that the final score is going to be 58-14 SC. As always, please let me know your score prediction down below in the comments. And yeah, I know this wasn't the most interesting game preview in the entire world. I really appreciate you being here today. If you guys did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You're all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on. Beat the Aggies.